Hey everybody, I am Kid Cadet, joined always by the beautiful and talented Danica Jenelle. How are you doing on this fine Thursday?
It's a Thursday.
I know.
So that's weird for me, but it's really cool.
I agree. So this is actually our second show this week, and I say, Danica, let's just bring up our guest. He is the legendary, the legendary Rey Mysterio, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, Rey?
I'm doing wonderful. It's beautiful out here in San Diego right now.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation.
Well, first things first, Rey, I have to ask, of course, how is your eye doing?
Well, as you can see, my eye is patched up still. It's definitely healing. I've had some really good reports from the doctor. I actually went to go see him this past week, and things are getting much better. Still not cleared yet to compete, but yes, my eye is definitely healing.
Okay, well, that's good news. You're on the road to recovery.
Yes, definitely. I can't wait to come back.
And we can't wait to see you back in the ring, as always. So
Thank you.
Our question for you is, not too many people are fortunate enough to survive being thrown off of a building, but clearly you are a superhero. So what was your initial reaction to seeing the way that the public responded to the Money in the Bank match?
Well, it was definitely a scary thought. Just the whole concept behind that event. You know, I haven't been part of many Money in the Banks, but this one was definitely one of the most intriguing ones. And it was skeptical because I had no idea what the headquarters looked like. I've probably been there maybe twice. With this time, it was probably my third time. So I had no idea where I was going, what floor I needed to get off on. And on top of that, the rooftop, not knowing that there was a lower rooftop from the one we were on. So, you know, at the end of the day, I thank God that it was only a 6-foot drop. It could have been much worse. And those are the type of risks that we take, if that is said correctly. You know, all for a briefcase that's hanging on top of the ring and a chance at the world title.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that was one of the moments that definitely stood out to me. The minute I saw you go off the building, I was like, no! And I wish I was down and grabbed you myself, but it's good to know that you landed only 6 feet under where you were thrown. So thank goodness.
Now going back and looking at the event, how it all went down, you know, you could have thought that was a stuntman taking care of Rey Mysterio's place, but no, it was me. I took the fall and I took it hard. So, and right next to me was Aleister Black, of course. But overall, it was a very exciting match. You know, something that during these hard, difficult times, you know, I hope that the fans at least were entertained by what happened that night.
Definitely, to say the least. We were most definitely entertained. And it was nice to get a look inside the headquarters too, you know, see what's in all the different rooms. I mean, I think he had like a dinosaur skull hanging out somewhere.
T-Rex, right?
You know, just a couple of those laying around. But all right, Danica, what was your next question?
So speaking of superheroes and you kind of being a superhero, so a lot of people know that, you know, you like to base a lot of your gear off of superheroes. So can you maybe tell us about any possible new gear that might be happening?
Wow. I actually had some gear that was lined up for WrestleMania, which it didn't come through. And I think the reason why was right around that time, COVID was just hitting and it was the news. I did start feeling sick right before WrestleMania, and WWE requested that I stay home instead in case things got any worse. So that made me hold back on the outfit that I was going to display that night. But the outfit is based on an action figure that was just released not too long ago. I believe it was late March, which is the He-Man collection, the Masters of the Universe. Yes, of the WWE Universe. Yes.
That's so cool.
Yes. Did you guys see that action figure?
Yes.
Stratos.
Yes.
Oh
Stratos.
man.
Love it. One of my favorite cartoons growing up as a kid.
Masters of the Universe.
Oh my God, yes. I had the castle and He-Man and everything. Oh, it was crazy. Yeah.
Now the follow-up question is, can you do a good Skeletor impression?
Ooh, that's a bad one. I was never I never did like the heels in the cartoons, you know. But although I did like the heels in all the Scooby-Doo cartoons that I saw. They were awesome.
Yeah. When they
Yeah.
reveal.
Yes.
I mean, they also all wore masks.
Aha.
Perhaps.
Well, that was the gear, and the person that was getting it ready for me does a lot of FX gear, and I was just looking very forward to busting that out at a WrestleMania. So we might have to save it for next year or SummerSlam or the next big one.
Definitely.
We look forward to seeing that.
Oh, me too.
So kind of a follow-up to that then, would you say that did you pull any inspiration when you first started training from any superheroes in particular?
I was a big fan of Super Friends, Batman, Robin, but overall that idea didn't come to me until a little bit later on in my career. So maybe 3-4 years in, and just using a lot of color combinations during my time. So I thought that it would be cool to use a bit of which was, I believe, my first one, my Superman gear. On my trunks, I had the emblem of Superman, and I would throw in either the question mark or the crown, which stands for Rey or Mysterio. And I went with the colors blue, yellow, and red. So that was my first outfit. And then after that, he just started coming along, Flash, and then Batman, and so on. Then, of course, it got even bigger in WWE.
That's awesome.
We have some friends in the chat that are telling us their favorite outfits. So someone said Joker from WrestleMania 25. And then I believe somebody also said Daredevil. From WrestleMania 19.
19, yeah.
Do you have a favorite in particular?
I love the Captain America one. And I believe that was WrestleMania 24, if I'm not mistaken. No. I'm lost. But it was a Captain America one, and that was probably one of my all-time favorites. It was me versus Cody Rhodes that night.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
All right, so sorry,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I wanted to ask about your son, Dominik, and his training. And I know that he trained with Jay Lethal, I believe, down in Tampa, and also, of course, Lance Storm. So I was curious about where he is at in his training and if you see him excelling in any particular style.
At first, right out the back, I saw that he did have something special because he was picking up everything as it came along. You know, he wasn't falling behind. You would explain to him once, twice, and he would jump right on it and continue, you know, and get ready for whatever else he was learning at. But overall, I see him, and he's a very special case. I truly believe that wrestling is in his DNA. That's what he was meant to do. Even though he started very late at training at the age of 19, you know, for the past 3 years, he's been kicking ass, and I'm so proud of him. But overall, right now, we did a session with Lance up in Canada, and then yes, he was with Jay Lethal in Tampa, And right now he's training with B-Boy here in San Diego. And the school he's at right now is incredible. I actually love going there myself because I love working with B-Boy. He's so fresh with everything that he does, and he's so creative.
Now, do you think he would also want to train in Mexico or Japan just to get, well-rounded in every single style?
I think he's open-minded and he's willing to do whatever it takes for him to get to the next level. And of course, he can only train so much. But in order to really pick up what he needs to know, that is going to happen during his first matches. So that is probably the next phase that we're probably looking at soon, hopefully. With this pandemic, everything slowed down as far as training goes, but I truly think that he should be ready by early next year.
That's what is it like for you as a well, yeah, I was gonna ask what is it like for you as a father, right? Like to see your son follow in your footsteps.
Very, very excited. I had actually given up a long time ago on trying to push him or have him pursue the career of wrestling. And I gave up at the age of 19. He knocks on my door and he says, "Dad, I would love to see if I can make it in the sport." I was like, wow, okay. He always loved football, and I thought that's where he was going. But no, he decided to make a 360 and try out for wrestling. So the first couple of steps he took in the ring, I said, okay, there's something very special right here. And of course, the evolution that I've seen in the past 3 years has been incredible. I'm so proud of him. I think he's learned so much. And to actually have been able to share a spot with me in the ring at a big pay-per-view like Survivor Series against Brock Lesnar, and to have handled his own in such an incredible way as a father, God, I tip my hat off. I'm so proud. So proud.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I would say that kind of leads into the next question that we were talking about was, so your fans and your colleagues, I would say collectively, I think we all agree that you have a lasting legacy that has already been written. You go down in history as one of the best luchadors of all time and professional wrestlers now. So what would you say, though, is the legacy of the man behind the mask? Now, clearly, I mean, Dominik being one of them, but what else serves as Rey's legacy?
Wow, I've had such a long career and long-lasting career over the past 32 years. I've just been truly thankful with God with so many opportunities and so many doors that have opened up in my journey to success. From day one, all I wanted to do was wrestle, and I never thought about money, never thought about fame. Although it was cool to see my uncle walk into arenas and me being a kid, 8, 9 years old, and seeing him get the attention by the fans and asking for autographs, that was also very cool as a kid growing up. Like, I'm going to be like that one day, so not keeping all those things in mind, I feel truly, truly blessed. I think that God has given me more than I would ever imagined. So I think my legacy stops in the next couple of years, and I feel like I'm going to put it in pause, and it's going to continue with my son taking over and taking this name to a whole different level.
I'm trying really hard not to cry. So.
Yeah, right. Fine. And I'm sure people have asked you this before, but as a follow-up, like, would you want to have a retirement match against your son?
That's something that I would hate. I would hate to walk out and have my son take over on my last match. I think the torch has already been passed, and will eventually, again, the day that we get to share a ring together and perform in front of fans, that's when the torch is going to be passed on to him. But overall, I think the fans, who I am grateful and thankful with them, because they've supported Dominik from day one, and I believe they believe in him as much as I do, and that's a big plus on our Richter scale, because that just gives it more confidence to go in there and take over the world like he's meant to do. So I think for me, passing the torch is going to be sharing the ring with him and do some tag team competition.
Awesome. And we'll have to get him some really kick-ass superhero gear too, right?
Oh, he's got some really cool stuff lined up. That actually was his idea. So I can't release it, but when you guys see it, you're going to love it.
So someone actually had a question.
Yeah.
They want to know who you feel would work well with Dominik in the ring for his first match or feud.
Ooh, I think without a doubt, just because of the style that he brings, Andrade would be awesome. Andrade or Garza, I think they would do really incredible against my son. But overall, I think a Cesaro would do incredible as well, just because of the height. Dominik is 6'2", about 6'2", 195 pounds. And still to this day, I tell my wife that I would love to DNA him because I truly believe that he's not my son. So,
well, that's your talent. So. I also liked this question that was asked: if there's a chance that we could see you and Edge team up again and win the Raw tag team titles.
That would be something really cool. I mean, we've done it in the past, and we have a lot of history together. So that would be really, really something cool to be looking forward to. I would love to do that. I think that would be awesome.
I agree. Is there a match on your bucket list, like either a WWE style match or, any style match that you've never done but you would want to participate in?
I believe I only did one TLC match. But if I were to be in my mid-20s, I would have loved to have been part of that whole generation of TLC matches alongside the Hardys and Devon and Bubba, Edge and Christian. I think I would have enjoyed very much that era and that style of matches, during my early years.
Awesome.
Cool. So
what do you think?
A style of match? Okay. This is going to sound kind of weird because a couple of days ago, we were talking to Mark Henry and our friend Chris Van Vliet, and we brought up scaffold matches. So,
wow.
Obviously not for the faint of heart, and you're clearly a high flyer that can go off of 6 feet, if not more. I think something like that would be, I think you could pull it off.
Wow,
a scaffold match. Is that a little intimidating?
What's intimidating to me is that I fear heights, which is crazy, incredible. And I'm claustrophobic on top of that, and I wear a mask. So imagine that. But I think when you're in the moment, you kind of put those fears aside and you just go after the gold. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. But definitely, we're with you on the fear of heights thing. Danica and I both.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you guys been, and here's the thing, I'm afraid of heights, but somehow my son and my daughter convinced me to go jump off a plane, do skydiving.
Nope.
So, which was incredible. That's probably the best thing I've ever done in my life.
So you would do it again?
I would do it again. I would recommend both of you to do it.
I'm available. Let's go.
I'm not sure I'm available.
The place is literally right behind my backyard. It's like 5 minutes away, a drive, and it is incredible. I don't think there's another rush as high as that one. Besides, of course, stepping on a WrestleMania stage, that doesn't top anything.
Well, Ray, if you'll go skydiving with Danica and I, maybe I can convince her that we should go.
Oh, if you do, you got to do it out here in San Diego, right?
Okay.
I'd be more than happy to take both of you.
It's done. Danica,
Rey Mysterio is telling me to come and do it, so maybe I have to.
Too bad they're not doing Comic-Con this year in San Diego. That would have been awesome and perfect timing.
I agree. I've never been. I've been out to San Diego and I love it, but I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. It was last year that I did it. Yep. It was incredible.
Wow. Well, I know that they're doing it virtually this year and hopefully next year. Comic-Con's, I think that they're even starting in the next couple months to be up and running. So hopefully we can all be together again really soon.
Yes, definitely. It looks like things are starting to go back to normal again.
Yeah.
Yes. Our friend Vendette is saying that he thinks a Thunderdome or triple cage match would be a great fit for you.
Ooh. You know what I did enjoy very much, just because I'm so playful with the ring and the ropes? Back at WCW, we had a World War III event, and they would set up 3 rings, like literally next to each other. So that was very, very cool, and it was very creative because you got to pull out some really cool moves. I remember doing one springboard from one ring to the other, and then doing like a Frankensteiner, which was awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. It's like a kid being at a playground.
Yeah. Not for Danica and I, but for you.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
So I guess the next one is kind of a weirder question, maybe. So a lot of wrestlers have really interesting pre-match rituals or superstitions, things like they wear a particular set of socks or their wrist tape or things like that. Do you have any pre-match rituals that you like, or what are the strangest ones that you've seen?
I've been using the same gear underneath my outfit that I've used since day one. I always use 2 pair of soccer socks, which are the very long ones, and then I put my knee pad over it, and then it's actually like a knee. I guess you can call it a knee pad, but it doesn't have cushion. And then on top of that, I put the one with the cushion. So I've done that since the age of 15, which is crazy. But my ritual from day one that I feel empty if I don't do it is I always pray before my match, and I pick a quiet corner, I kneel down, and I ask God to protect me and whoever I'm in the ring with, or whoever's in that event that night. So I ask for everyone.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we had another question that people want to know how you feel about other wrestlers like Cesaro, using some of your moves. Oh, yeah, and Sasha Banks, and using the 619 as a tribute. How do you feel about that?
I enjoy very much. I think that's a show of mutual respect, a show that they've enjoyed one of my many moves that has become worldwide known. And that makes me happy. A lot of people might feel like, oh, they shouldn't be doing it. The good thing is that they haven't done it better than me. When that day comes and they do it better than me, I'm removing that from my arsenal. All right. So no, I enjoy it very much. I enjoy people my teammates doing moves that I had have come up with over the past years.
Awesome. So we've had a couple of people ask about, of course, Eddie Guerrero. And I'm curious to know who else you feel like you can create magic on the fly with, because, your matches with Eddie are, goes without saying, are some of the best matches in wrestling history. So who else do you think that you can create that same kind of magic with, like on the fly?
I felt like I created that magic with Kurt Angle. I think that was very special, the chemistry that we had. I just recently went back and saw my first SummerSlam, and I enjoyed that match very, very much. And I think over the years wrestling against Kurt, I got more comfortable with him and have trusted him since day one. But the more you wrestle with someone, the more you get attached, and the more sometimes you just go off a vibe, the moment, whatever feels like is next, it just comes natural. So without a doubt, I believe I created some magic with Kurt. And not too long ago, I believe I created magic with Andrade. Andrade is an incredible up and coming superstar. I did mention a couple of times that the matches that I had with Andrade reminded me of some matches that I had against Eddie Guerrero.
Wow.
He has that it, that he connects, and when you connect right off the bat, that's when the magic comes out, and you just go again, like with Kurt, you go based off of instinct, and everything just starts floating naturally. So Andrade is definitely, he has a big future ahead of him.
Definitely. Well, we also had someone ask, and I'm sure this is very difficult to pick just one, but do you have a favorite match against Eddie?
I enjoyed very much WrestleMania 21. That kind of started our whole feud.
Sure.
After I beat him there, then we went on to the whole Dominik fiasco. But I enjoyed it. Every time I stepped in the ring with Eddie, whether we were wrestling against each other or together, the moment was always very special, very special. And he knew how to turn up the facial or the vibe, the atmosphere. Once he could have been really tired backstage, and as soon as he walked out that curtain, it's like another Eddie. And you would feed off his energy, and I truly believe that the fans fed off Eddie's energy as well, and putting us together, it was just really, really special magic.
Magic, for sure. Did Eddie have any pre-match rituals that you can think of?
No, not that I remember. I know he would always pray as well, but as far as him doing something in particular, I don't recall him doing something special. Okay. Yeah.
Someone in the chat also says that their dream match right now is to see you versus The Fiend. So how do you feel about facing someone as scary as The Fiend? Because he is, that's a scary dude.
I believe I would enjoy it. You have 2 second-generation wrestlers going at it, and I think when wrestling runs through your blood, through your DNA, there's no doubt that there's something special that can be created inside the ring, and I truly believe that The Fiend and Rey Mysterio could create something very unique and special. And the fact that we both wear masks, I think it would be intriguing too for the fans.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So the next question that we had was, who would you say was the most unexpected person to tell you that they were a fan of you, that you were surprised that this person said that they're a fan of you?
Good question. Wow. Kid Cadet. Yeah. No, that's, let me think about that. I'll tell you what, something that probably the opposite of this question, but I've enjoyed having matches with wrestlers that grew up watching me, and I could consider one of my best matches with him. And this guy I'm talking about is Ricochet. Ricochet was a huge fan. Grew up watching me, The Rock, Eddie. And the day we got to wrestle against each other, it was very emotional. For him, I didn't know the story until after the match. He explained it to me, and I thought that was so touching. And it was eye-opening for me to realize that I can't believe I'm at this phase of my career where now I'm wrestling guys that grew up watching me. Normally it would be fans that, hey Ray, man, a big fan of yours, since I was a kid. But to be able to step in the ring with the person that has followed your career and that enjoyed and got emotional because he had the opportunity to wrestle with you, I thought that was like, wow. That was on top of my award scale. Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Good answer.
Yeah, that's a great answer. So I guess maybe the flip side of this would be, obviously, you get to do a lot of comic conventions and meeting your fans. But who are you a fan of? Like, who is that person that you've gone to a Comic-Con and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm sitting right next to?
I guess sometimes when you meet so many artists, singers, rappers, you name it, you don't get phased anymore by having that connection. But I remember going to an award show in LA, and I saw Odell Beckham, and that was like big, like, oh, because, and I guess this goes into the question you just asked me before. I was walking into the theater where the awards were being presented, and I was with Dominik, and Odell walked by and he goes, Rey Mysterio, what's up? And I was like, oh shit, Odell. So we took a picture together, but I think that was like, damn, I didn't know you watched wrestling, so that was cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
That is very
definitely.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
BJ.
So one of the questions that we've been liking to ask everyone recently is, now, what makes you laugh more than anything?
I think a little bit of everything. My sense of humor is very open, and I don't get bugged out by many things in life. So I think if I'm always 80% of the time in a good mood. When I'm grumpy, it's very rare, but when I'm grumpy, I'm really grumpy. So I think overall, just to be able to wake up, breathe, and enjoy the day with my family, and that we're all blessed and taken care of, that makes me feel happy, which then makes me smile, not laugh, but smile.
And I saw that you guys have been doing a couple game nights. So like, if you're sitting around, you're gonna bust out a game. What's the game? Like, what's the go-to?
Loteria. Loteria is a family group game. Have you played Loteria?
No, I have not. Danica?
No, never. Okay, it's a Mexican game, and you pretty much get cards with 3, 6, 9, 12 figures on each card, and you have a deck of cards. And in that deck of cards, you have all the characters that are part of the card that you take. So you go character by character. You have from the drunk man to the mermaid to the cactus to the skull, the Mexican flag, and you put down every time your card comes out, like a little penny, or we normally use a bean. You put a bean down, and whoever gets the full card first, like a bingo, very similar to bingo, yeah, but it's based off of characters.
And do you win a lot? Like, are you good at it, or is it based on luck?
Oh, we love it. Yeah, we played 2 different types, so whoever gets a straight line first, and then whoever gets the full card. So we put up half a pot for the first line, and then the rest of the pot for the full card. But overall, just to be able to spend that time with family, quality time, it's fun. It's fun, and you enjoy it very, very much.
Definitely.
Well,
okay, so
you gotta try it. You gotta try it. Loteria, right? Remember, Loteria.
I'm in. Right after we skydive, we'll play.
We have a list now. So skydiving, Loteria, and then we'll see what's next.
Done. But we'll keep adding to the list. Okay,
Right.
so my husband actually wants to know, who is the biggest prankster in the locker room nowadays?
I think that's been gone over years. You don't see that much anymore. I haven't been around as much since like I was before, so it's been very hard to really pick someone out. But I think those times have definitely passed, and you don't see that camaraderie or vibe inside of the locker room anymore. You got to be careful with what you do nowadays, because you're not just gonna get a slap in the hand; it's gonna be worse. So it's not old school anymore, which I miss that a lot from the locker room vibe.
I've heard like a couple road stories from Mick Foley, because he has fantastic road stories, I guess, about being on the road. I want to say with like DDP, I think it was, or maybe it was Stone Cold, someone putting cookies in someone's bed. Like, I hear these and I heard like Owen Hart was a really big prankster too. And I was like hearing like the old, road stories. Do you have any of those?
Oh, no. But I've heard so many in the past, and I know Mick has stories for years, not days, but for years. He's a fucking encyclopedia. I love hearing Mick's stories. Enjoy being around his company very, very much. But I used to be a prankster myself. A couple times I hit a couple ribs here and there. Remember one time we were coming back from Japan, I believe, and we flew into Alaska, and from there we had to board onto another plane. Everyone was tired. We were all drained. And as we were going up the escalators, electric escalators, I just happened to hit that stop button, and everyone had bags and carrying them. And MVP turned around, and Big Show was on his way up. He got caught in the stairway, and he says, this is what I said. I don't remember saying this, but he said, MVP said, once I pressed the button and it stopped, I just said, sorry, boys. And then everybody had to walk up the stairway. So it was a long day, long day.
I'm sure it was. Oh my God.
Yes. Big Show was furious.
But
Yes.
funny, it's funny.
Yeah, funny.
Good times.
True.
Good times.
All right, so we have a couple more questions, and we're actually going to play a game. So my next question is about routes of flight. And I always see you put up your pictures on your social media. And I want to talk about, you said the new design is inspired by one of your first wrestling kits and one used on your very first action figure. So what can you tell us about that?
So that was the whole story behind the brand Roots of Fight is they try to dig into your roots as much as possible and create designs for the fans to enjoy, the fans that have been fans for years, you know, whether it's boxing, baseball, wrestling, football, you know, that's the whole concept behind Roots of Fight. And I do believe that this design that was just released, which is a pink, black, and white t-shirt, is based on the very first Rey Mysterio action figure that came out in 1993. And in that action figure, as a matter of fact, give me a second. Let me take that out really fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold, please. This is exciting. Okay. This is why I like doing these streams from home. It's because you never know what someone can find or go get or let's see it.
So this action figure came out in 1993, and there's a story behind this particular action figure. So at the time I was dating my wife, which back then was my girlfriend, and I gave her one of these dolls. I really had no idea that she had saved it. So later on, not too long ago, as a matter of fact, she said, look what I have. And I said, what do you have? She goes, I'll sell it to you. I said, well, what do you have? And she showed me this right here.
Look at that. Oh my God, I love it.
And I love that style, that iconic style of action figure.
Yes. It doesn't move. With just one pose, that's it.
That's all you need.
Yeah, so yes. So the t-shirt that was just released from Roots of Fight was based on the concept of this action figure, yes.
That is super cool.
So like the proportions of that, like the hand is as big as the thigh. I'm like,
yeah. So this particular action figure cost me a Louis Vuitton bag and some I think Dolce & Gabbana shoes or something that my wife grabbed. That's how much it costs. So,
okay,
yeah.
worth it. Worth it. Danica?
Well, I mean, a lot of people have been asking about a couple of your different tattoos here, but we wanted to know, do you have plans for any more tattoos?
Definitely.
You got some killer ones right now.
Yes, definitely. I'm looking forward to getting some ink on both sides of my neck.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm looking to do some. I don't know if you've heard of trash polka.
Of course. Yeah, trash polka. Yeah. It's like
Trash polka.
Yeah, really unique style.
Smears. Yeah, apparently that style was created in Germany, and I'm waiting for the right time to find somebody, even if I have to go out there to get something very unique. And actually, I was talking to the Fiend about it, and he told me, because he has a piece that's trash polka. He said, if you want to get something done, go to Germany. He goes, make sure you get hooked with one of the guys out there. I'm sure you'll find someone. Give him your story, and he'll create something very unique for you. So that's my next step.
Cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. I actually got. Huh?
Go ahead. I said, I can't believe the tattoos are so addicting. I got my son, who's already, covering up, and my daughter as well. She's very she's very into tattoos. So how can I say no, right? When they ask for, Dad, can I get this done? Yeah.
People are saying that you have the coolest tattoos. But and I love the way that you can express yourself. You know, to me, it's just a collection of your life and little pieces of your life.
Yes.
And, you know, it just
Definitely.
it makes you who you are. Yeah, I got one last weekend, actually.
What'd you get?
I got
With
a little
Batista.
PT tattoo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Where do
actually.
you get your work done?
Pardon?
Where do you get your work done? Do you have
So
someone?
I went to Tampa and I got tattooed with Dave Batista last weekend.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I love Dave. Oh, I love Dave.
He loves you too. He only had the most wonderful things to say about you.
Oh my God, he's a sweetheart. I love that man. Good people.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Such a big teddy bear, huh?
definitely.
That's one thing I enjoyed very much with Dave. That the storyline that we did together when he just snapped and turned, I enjoyed that so much. Really fun times.
That was one of my favorite feuds of yours, like for
Really?
both of you guys, because it was so unexpected, and just the way that both of you played into it, and that initial turn when he was just like, I don't remember what he said exactly, but like, I'm gonna knock your head off or something, and it, oh my gosh, yeah, you guys had some chemistry.
I love the part where we were outside and he had my body like next to the apron, next to the post, and he was just saying, "You're supposed to be my friend." That's when he caught me a couple times, but that whole storyline had so much feeling to it that I really enjoyed it. You don't see stuff like that anymore. I miss that. I miss that a lot.
Well, I think we will see more of it in the future. I think we will.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, so I think we had one more question I wanted to ask, and then we're going to get into this game. Someone else was asking about today's cruiserweight division compared to WCW. Okay, so here's the question. What do you think about today's cruiserweight compared to the WCW and early WWE days?
Different times, without a doubt. You know, the styles have changed so much. I believe that that the style back then was very fresh and it was new to the fans worldwide. You know, the fact that they were able to see some lucha libre style mixed in with a little bit of Japanese style and American and overall the European style. It was stacked. It was just stacked. But you know, but now just the evolution of that style has grown tremendously, and I just think there were two different styles from that time up until now. But overall, I enjoy watching it very much. You know, sometimes I think I get blown away by the moves and everything that is performed in the ring. And I don't know, maybe that style was one day when we were creating that whole cruiserweight division. A lot of people were saying, "Wow, I can't believe Rey would do those things," or Juventud Guerrero or Psychosis. You know, now I'm looking at this style and I'm just blown away by the moves.
Definitely. Definitely. Okay, Rey. So we have a game.
What's the game?
And we have graphics. So we're gonna explain it before we put this graphic up. I have to say, Danica came up with the title for this one. It's called Luchador, and it's a game of would you rather. So we're gonna give you two options, and you simply have to pick which of these two you would rather do. Fair? Okay. So let's get this started. Let's bring up these graphics if we can. So here's the first one. Rey, would you rather wear Loki's mask, which is the mask from the movie The Mask, or wear Dr. Doom's mask?
I think I would wear Dr. Doom's mask.
Because you never know what happens when you put on the other mask. You know, you might do the
Very true, yes. Very true.
All right, our next question here. Would you rather team with Deadpool or with Wolverine?
Oh, that's a hard one. Oh my God. Oh, can I do both? Can I do both? Half an hour and half an hour?
I Because you're Rey Mysterio. What do you think, Danica? Do we let him?
I say we give it to him.
Fine.
I tell you, I'm a big fan of Deadpool. I've enjoyed him very much. But Wolverine, how can you say no to Wolverine? So I think I would split him up. Can we do half and half? Can we split Deadpool in half and then add Wolverine's half? Just
Sure.
Mix.
Sure.
I like that. Yeah.
We'll
Just
allow
for you, Ray.
We'll allow it. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather star in the last movie you watched or star in the last TV show you watched?
Oh, I don't think I want to star in the last TV show I watched.
What was it?
I was just watching the Jeffrey Epstein documentary, so
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'll
you don't
pass.
wanna start that.
I'll go with the last movie. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
Oh God. All right, next one.
You
All right,
asked.
would you
asked, I was
rather
honest.
wrestle? Would you rather wrestle in a scuba suit or in a tuxedo?
I think I would rather wrestle in a tux, without a doubt. Without a doubt, yes. Yeah.
Now, do we go with the Dumb and Dumber orange or blue tux, or would you go more formal?
No, I actually I'm big on those colors, so I would do the Dumb and Dumber look.
Nice.
Definitely.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, here's the next one. Would you rather never take another last ride from The Undertaker or never have to take another Brock suplex?
I would not mind taking nothing at all. No ride, no suplex, none of the above. They're both pretty hard. One, you get thrown and you're going backwards, but you have no idea where you're going to land. At least with the Undertaker, I mean, you're going to land where he places you. But the other one, it's a German release, and see ya wherever you go. Yeah, so I'd probably compensate one for the other. I'll go with the Undertaker last ride.
Okay.
Yeah, not a big
well-
fan of it. But yeah.
Well, and I think we already know the answer to this
Yes.
one.
Yes, yes.
So either skydiving or mountain climbing. Have you gone mountain climbing?
Never.
Would you want to try it?
Does the kiddie rock climbing work? Is that valid?
I
No.
mean, to an
That's
extent.
I watched not too long ago the documentary on Solo.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Have you seen it?
It's terrifying.
Oh my God. I have no idea how that is even possible
Oh yeah.
without having a safety net behind you. So I have a lot of respect for rock climbers, a lot.
Yeah.
But I would do very bad. Horrible. Yeah. I'll stick with skydiving.
Yeah. Rock
Fair.
climbing's not for me either. Okay, next one. Okay. Would you rather wrestle in a winner picture next tattoo match or wrestle in another mask versus mask match?
Oh, I think I'd take the mask versus mask match. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, because you don't know what they would pick for a tattaoo, and they may not be too nice with it.
Scary.
Yeah, that would not be nice. Not at all.
All right, next one.
I'll stick with the mask.
Okay.
Great. All right. The Survivor Series team. Would you rather have the Avengers or the Justice League?
Ooh.
Sorry.
Oh. I'll stick with the Avengers.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll stick with the Avengers. That would be interesting though.
Yeah.
Because then we can also get the Guardians of the Galaxy. Then we get Batista back. You see?
Yes.
Ah.
There we go.
Full circle. Full
Yes.
circle. All right, here's the next one. Would you rather wrestle barefoot or wrestle in shoes 2 sizes too big?
Definitely with shoes. Twice as big.
Mm.
Yeah. Not a
Can't
big
imagine
barefoot
that.
guy. In the
No.
ring. No.
I don't see how they do it. Like every time I saw like Rusev or Matt Riddle get in the ring, I'm like, what? You put your shoes on. I can't. I'm afraid I would step on a tack.
Umaga really impressed me how he would just go out there, he would tape his ankles and he would go out there and do his thing. But No, I just don't know. Like every time I fall, I use the bottom of my feet to kind of protect my fall.
Yeah.
And I cannot imagine landing on that ring. Dropped a couple times and hitting my heels on the mat. Pretty bad, yeah.
I'm also just imagining the skin burn that must happen, and just like,
Yes.
All
So
right,
we can either go twice as big or twice as small. I don't care. I'll put them on my feet no matter what.
Okay.
All right, what about our next one? Oh yes, I think this is our last one. Who would you rather have redo your theme music, Kendrick Lamar or Childish Gambino?
Oh, I'm a big Kendrick fan, so yes, Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're from the West Coast. Yeah, Kendrick.
All right. Well, that was our game, Luchador.
I like the title of it.
It was good, Danica. Very good
Yes.
job.
You don't have to applaud that. It was dad jokes level.
No, we always try to come up with, something geared towards our guests. My mom was like, oh, you should do like the masked wrestler, kind of like almost like the masked singer, and put a mask on someone and see. I thought that would be difficult. That would be hard. Because unless you know someone's tattoos or.
Oh, yeah.
I could have covered up all the way.
So, Ray, we're coming down to the final moment. So before we wrap this up, do you have any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
No, I'm just very thankful with my fans, always worldwide, for all that support, all that love, and truly blessed to eventually have the opportunity to step in the ring with my son and perform, have an actual match. And I think that's every father's dream, is to see your kids grow up and do what they love to do, what they're good at. So I'm looking very forward to that journey in my life. Then after that, I can hang up the mask and do what I like doing best, travel.
Oh, cool.
To Germany to get your trash Poco tattoo.
Yes. Hopefully that soon. Yeah.
Well, we hope that your eye heals up
Mhm.
and we see you back in a ring super fast. And Danica, any final thoughts on your end?
Well, I'm just really grateful that we got to have this extra special episode with you, because this has been super, super cool.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And this is the first time, but if you ever want me to come back, just let me know.
You sure? Because I'm going to hold you to that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please. As a matter of fact, next time we come back, I'll make sure that Dominik is here with me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So we do something together.
Sounds
So
good.
we're writing it down.
Yes.
That way, whatever you want to ask him, he can answer, and I don't have to answer for him.
Well, let's get that on the books, because that would be so cool. It'd be so cool.
Definitely.
All right,
Just
so
let me know.
Please. So we should mention on Monday we have Mick Foley and Nita Strauss. And
Nice.
my husband's telling me I should mention that I have a song coming out tomorrow. So
Oh, really?
Yay.
I do. It's called Liar. It'll be out on Spotify and iTunes. I'll send it to you.
Y'all,
Can
it
we
is
get a preview
so
right now,
catchy.
or no? Just
You
like
want
a
the
little.
preview? Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Let's see.
So catchy. It is, guys, listen.
This is the
Because I'm
chorus.
his friend, so I get the first
Okay.
listening.
Okay, here's how the chorus goes.
Oh.
So there you go.
Oh, please send it to me. I would love to listen to it, please.
I'm going to send it to you right after this.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Thank
Well,
you.
on that note, guys, we will see you all on Monday. Thanks once again to the incomparable Rey Mysterio, and have a wonderful rest of your night, everybody. We'll see you guys real soon.
Guys. Oh, yeah, God. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.